So I don't remember what year it came out. I'm going to say 67, 1968. Joni Mitchell's first album. She's kind of walking down a city street. She's got an umbrella and she's holding a Martin T-18 from around the same period as this one. This one was built in 1953, has an Adirondack spruce top and mahogany back and sides. Um, I thought it was a little 12-string guitar. I made some calls. It wasn't a 12-string, little tiny 12-string guitar. It turned out it was a Tiple. And so I got one, which I'll show you in a little bit. I started with this one because this is like the one Joni is holding in the picture. And I didn't know how to tune it, so I put it in this weird kind of tuning, like a G tuning. I kind of based it on like listening to her album and imagining that there was a Tipple on it, but of course there was no Tipple anywhere on the album that I could hear. And so I played the Tipple for quite some time with this weird kind of G tuning. As fate would have it, there was a fellow by the name. There still is a fellow, but he doesn't live in New Haven at this point. But at the time, he was living in New Haven. I was living close to New Haven. His name is Ed Askew, and he played the Tipple also. So the odds of two people in the New Haven area playing kind of psychedelic folk music on a Tipple boggle the mind, but it was true. And Ed taught me how to tune the Tipple properly, and once I learned how to tune it, I stopped with my weird kind of tuning that I had. Ed put out a couple of amazing Tipple albums on ESP. Well, the first one was on ESP Records. The second one was never released by ESP. It was released a couple of years ago. So this one is from 1953. It's X-braced, and it's pretty substantial, heavily built instrument. And you'll notice the larger headstock with the decal. I'm bringing that up. I have a reason. Anyway, I'll just play a little bit in case you've never heard one. Has a real kind of dancing, lyrical tone to it. So what I'm going to show you now is a T-18, same model, but this one was built 1925. Instead of having plastic bindings, it has rosewood bindings. Instead of having a rosewood fingerboard and bridge, it has ebony. And this one is actually fan braced. And you notice the smaller headstock, no decal, but they did have a Martin stamp in the back of the headstock. Of the two, this is my favorite. This is the one I've had the longest. And it's had a couple of neck resets. Almost every Tipple I've ever come across has needed a neck reset to play, because I like to play high up on the neck. And it's just, to get the notes to ring true up there, you need a really low action. This one is much more refined and gentle sounding. Anyway, here we go. This one is from the 20s and this one is from the 50s.